As I wandered through the quaint streets of this small, seemingly innocuous town, the sun began to dip below the horizon, casting long shadows that seemed to stretch and twist with every step I took. I had come here to find a bit of history, maybe snap some photos for my blog, but now, with night creeping in, I realized I had no idea where I was. The town was a maze of cobblestone alleys and narrow, winding paths, each turn looking distressingly similar to the last. My phone, which I had been using for navigation, had long since lost its signal, and the battery was dangerously low. I quickened my pace, hoping to stumble upon something familiar, but the deeper I ventured, the more isolated I felt. Very calm I trail her. As I turned into an alley, darker than the rest, I heard laughter. Not the warm, welcoming kind, but something more sinister, like the chuckle of a secret shared among thieves. Before I could backtrack, 3 figures emerged from the shadows, blocking my path. They were all smiles, but their eyes were cold, calculating. "Hey there, Lost," one of them asked with a mockingly sympathetic tone, stepping closer. I nodded, trying to keep my voice steady. "Yeah, I just need to find my way back to the main road." "Oh, we can help with that," another said, his voice dripping with feigned kindness. They gestured for me to follow, but something in their manner made my skin crawl. I hesitated, but with no other options, I stepped forward. We walked for what felt like too long, the streets becoming even more deserted, the lights fewer and dimmer. My unease grew with each step, until we reached an abandoned building on the outskirts of town. "Here we are," one of them said, pushing open a creaky door. I knew this was wrong. Every instinct screamed at me to run, but as I turned to flee, hands grabbed me from behind. Panic surged through me as they dragged me inside. The building was dark, smelled of mold and decay, and the only light came from a flickering bulb hanging from the ceiling. They started talking in hushed tones, debating what to do with me. I heard phrases like, "No one will miss her," and "easy money." My heart raced, my mind spinning for any escape. In a moment of desperate clarity, I remembered the whistle I always carried for safety. I fumbled in my pocket, found it, and blew as hard as I could. The shrill sound echoed through the empty building, startling my captors. In that split second of confusion, I broke free, sprinting towards what I hoped was an exit. I ran, my legs fueled by fear and adrenaline, until I burst out into the night, not caring which direction I went as long as it was away from them. I ran until my lungs burned and my legs gave out, collapsing near the edge of town, where, miraculously, I found a police car patrolling. I told my story, breathless and shaking, to the officers, who immediately took me seriously. They knew of this group, and my escape gave them the lead they needed to finally act. They escorted me back to my car, ensuring I was safe until I was well out of town. That night, I learned the hard way about the dangers lurking even in the smallest, quietest places. I never returned to that town, but the experience sharpened my senses, taught me to trust my gut, and never to underestimate the darkness that can hide in plain sight.